Time for me to play the bystander, feed him what information I had, and watch things develop. I arrived at Ernie's early, confirmed the reservation he'd made under his name, and waited outside rather than taking the table. The air was crisp and smelled clean, well, relatively clean. I closed my eyes and imagined I was standing on the Maine coast, inhaling its invigorating ocean breezes. I was deep into my reverie and didn't see or hear Johnson. "Mrs. Fletcher," he said, "are you okay?" My eyes snapped open. "Oh, yes, of course. I was daydreaming. Didn't mean to startle you." "That's all right. I confirmed your reservation. Shall we go in?" After being seated at a corner table, I got right down to business. "The reason I agreed to meet with you, Bobby, is that I've decided to share with you what I know about Waldo Morse's murder and the murder of Susan Cale." He smiled. "Why the turnaround, Mrs. Fletcher? Until now you treated me like the enemy. I want to be your friend." "In return for exclusive juicy stories?" I said. "Sure, no such thing as a free brunch, but that doesn't mean we can't be friendly." I observed him across the table. He was a nice-looking young man, but someone who, no matter how hard he tried, would always appear slightly unkempt. He was losing his hair prematurely. An attempt to grow a beard was hampered by a lack of natural facial hair. It grew in sparse clumps. He looked perpetually tired, and I wondered about his lifestyle. Probably a night person. Did he have a special girl in his life? Maybe there wasn't time for that. So many questions fueled by my inherent curiosity. I didn't ask them, however. As much as I wanted to cooperate with him, I wasn't seeking friendship. Besides, my motives in meeting with him were as devious as his. I wanted him to get to the bottom of the murders for my sake, my self-interest. He was right. No such thing as a free brunch, no matter who paid the bill. A pretty young waitress gave a theatrical presentation of the day's specials. An out-of-work actress, I judged, waiting tables to pay the rent until the big break came along. She wrote down our orders, eggs Benedict and a bloody shame for me, the British term for a Virgin Mary, and huevos rancheros, a Mexican egg dish, and the real thing, a Bloody Mary, for Johnson, and started to walk away. She turned, narrowed her eyes at me, and said, "You're a famous actress, aren't you? Your name is on the tip of my tongue." "Afraid not," I said lightly, "but I'm sure you'll be famous one day." She beamed, said, "That's my goal." She handed me a business card. "If you hear of anything," she said. "Of course." That was one of the appealing things about New York, everyone walking around with big dreams and willing to sacrifice to realize them. "Well," Johnson said, "here we are. What's new in the life of Jessica Fletcher?" "Quite a bit, Bobby. I visited Waldo Morse's wife, Nancy, in Cabot Cove yesterday. She told me some things I thought you'd be interested in." "You went home yesterday?" "Yes, but only for a few hours." I told him of my furtive escape from Manhattan and of my unexpected premature return. He found it amusing, which, in retrospect and from an observer's perspective, it probably was. "I knew Waldo Morse from Cabot Cove." His eyebrows went up. I told him everything I knew about Waldo, including his disappearance into the Witness Protection Program. "You say you talked to his wife?" "Yes, she was in the process of moving." I filled him in on Joe Charles and his relationship to Waldo and to Susan Cale. I did not, however, mention the third member of the intriguing triangle I'd uncovered, Detective Alphonse Rizzi. I'd raise him with Johnson when and if I felt the time was right. "Where did Morse's wife move?" he asked. "I don't know. I wished I did. And then I remembered the yellow pages I'd torn from the pad in her kitchen, and which were back in my hotel room. If she'd pressed down hard enough when writing on the top pages, the ones I'd removed might have indentations that could be read using the old Rana pencil across it technique. That was my intention when taking them, but I'd forgotten about it in the lunacy of the past 2 days. Johnson had been taking notes on a small pad as I talked.